In a pulsing Miami club millionaire CEO, Ethan Brooks, freezes when a 13-year-old DJ drops a mixtape with Ethan's handwriting on it. The boy's hazel eyes mirror his own. A gift from the past. A son he never knew. As guilt crashes over him, one question lingers: can Ethan reclaim the years he lost? Subscribe for more unforgettable stories. The Miami skyline flickered through the tall windows of Ethan Brooks' high-rise condo. Inside, everything gleamed steel glass silence, but none of it filled the space in his chest. He stood alone, barefoot, on cold marble floors, watching boats drift across the bay like ghosts. 31, rich beyond imagination, founder of Trackline, the hottest music streaming app in the country. To the world, Ethan had it all. But inside, a question echoed louder each year: what happened to her? He rarely spoke her name anymore. He didn't need to. Her memory lived in that worn cassette tape tucked in a drawer, the last thing he gave her before she disappeared. That mixtape labeled in Sharpie for Jay. He hadn't heard from her since that night in college. One call, a tearful goodbye, then nothing. Ethan's phone buzzed. His assistant's text lit the screen: underground showcase tonight. Hot, new DJ. You should see this one. He rubbed his eyes and sighed. Another showcase, another kid chasing beats. But something in him stirred. He hadn't planned on going, but tonight felt different. The club sat beneath a graffiti-covered garage on the edge of Wynwood. Sweat, light, and sound collided inside like a heartbeat gone wild. Bodies pulsed to the rhythm. It was chaos, and yet Ethan felt oddly calm. Music did that. A boy stood behind the turntables, no older than 13. Chestnut hair cut shaggy. Warm, hazel eyes locked on the crowd. Focused. Confident. The beat dropped and the floor moved with him. Ethan froze mid-step. That face, that hair, those eyes. His. The boy scratched into the next track, looping it with a flick of the wrist. And then Ethan heard it. A grainy track layered under the beat, his old mixtape. His voice, his intro, from college. Track 1 for the only girl I ever truly saw. His chest tightened. The cassette, the handwriting. He pushed through the crowd, pulse racing. After the set, he found the boy packing up. "Where'd you get that track?" Ethan asked, voice tight. The boy looked up. "My mom gave me this tape," he said. "Said it was special. She kept it in a box with my baby pictures." He pulled it out of his backpack, protected in a clear case. The label, for Jay. Ethan's hand shook as he took it. "Did your mom ever mention who gave it to her? Just said he was a music nerd she loved once." The boy shrugged. "Didn't want to talk about him much. She passed last year." Ethan blinked. "I'm sorry." The boy nodded. "I'm Liam." Ethan hesitated. "I'm Ethan." They stood in silence. The same jawline, same dimples, same eyes. "I used to make music," Ethan finally said. Liam tilted his head. "So, I think I'm your father." Liam's face didn't change, but his hands went still. "Is this a joke?" he asked quietly. Ethan shook his head. "No, I think you're my son." For a moment, neither moved. The club's sound faded behind them. Then, Liam said, "I live 2 buses away. Mom DJ'd too before she got sick. I started mixing to help pay for stuff." Ethan swallowed. "How long have you been doing this?" "Since she passed. The club owner lets me play for tips." A silence stretched. Then Ethan said, "Can I buy you something to eat?" Liam's eyes narrowed, cautious. "Sure, if you're paying." They walked to a late-night diner. Red booths and sticky menus. Liam ordered pancakes. Ethan watched him scarf them down like he hadn't eaten all day. "You like music," Ethan said. "It's all I've got." Ethan pulled the tape from his coat pocket, ran his thumb across the label. "I made this for your mother when we were 19. She left without telling me she was pregnant." Liam didn't look up. "She always said she didn't want to hold anyone back." "She didn't. But I should have found her. Liam finished the last bite, wiped his mouth, and looked up. "You still want to know me?" he asked. Ethan nodded. "If you'll let me." Liam reached for the cassette. His fingers brushed Ethan's. "My mom said people leave," he whispered. "You didn't even know about me. That's different." He held up the mixtape. This means something." Ethan's throat tightened. That tape, once a token of love, was now a bridge, a beginning. The morning sun crept through the blinds of Ethan's condo, casting soft stripes across the hardwood floor. He stood by the kitchen island, gripping a coffee mug, replaying the night in his mind. Liam. The name echoed like a skipped beat. A boy, with his eyes his mixtape and a childhood Ethan never knew existed. The cassette sat on the counter, its plastic edges scuffed, the faded label still clear for Jay, a symbol from a forgotten love now reborn as a thread tying father to son. Ethan turned as the front door opened. Liam stepped inside, clutching his backpack, eyes scanning the sleek space marble countertops, ocean view speakers embedded in the walls. "You sure I can be here?" Liam asked. Ethan nodded. "This is your home now, if you want it." Liam didn't answer. Instead, he walked to the large window overlooking the water. "You live like a king," he muttered. She would have liked this view. Ethan set the mug down. "What was she like?" Your mom, Liam, leaned against the glass. "Fierce. She danced while cooking. She made me promise to never stop making music, even when the lights got shut off." Ethan swallowed hard. "She didn't deserve to do it alone. She didn't have a choice," Liam said quietly. "She said she didn't want to mess up your future." Ethan sat across from him. "She was wrong. I would have given it all up just to meet you sooner." A long silence passed between them. Then Liam reached into his bag and pulled out a scrap of paper, folded, worn edges curled. "She drew this," he said. "My mom." He unfolded it. A sketch of a small boy with headphones standing beside a tall man with a mixtape in hand. Both smiling faces turned toward a turntable. She said, "One day you'll find him." Ethan took the drawing heart heavy. The lines were simple, but the emotion cut deep. It wasn't just a picture. It was a wish. "I'm sorry," Ethan said, "for not finding you first." Liam shrugged, though his eyes shimmered. "I found you anyway." They sat in silence until Ethan's phone buzzed. A calendar alert, investor brunch at 11. He silenced it. "Skip it," Liam said. "We got better things to do." Ethan smiled. Like what Liam's grin widened. "You ever been to Spin Alley? Is that a club?" "It's where I practice," Liam replied. "You should come. I want you to see." An hour later, Ethan followed Liam through a cracked alley off Little Havana. A painted arrow pointed down a side door. Inside was a concrete room, tagged walls, wires, hanging crates for seats. A beat-up controller sat on a folding table surrounded by tangled cords and a rusty speaker stack. "This is it," Liam said proudly. Ethan blinked. "You made this work." Liam turned everything on. Music pulsed through the space. It wasn't polished, but it had soul. The rhythm was sharp, creative, alive. "This is how I paid rent," Liam said. "Tips, mostly. Sometimes food. They let me keep the space because I clean up after." Ethan stepped closer, his voice softer. "You did all this on your own," Liam nodded. "Nobody's going to hand you a mic." Ethan looked around the grime and the echoes, the smell of old pizza boxes. Then he looked at Liam, confident, capable, so young yet already hardened by the world. "You ever want better gear?" Ethan asked. Liam shrugged. "Sure, but I make it work." A sudden cough broke the rhythm. An older man stepped out from the corner, greasy cap beard streaked with gray. "Didn't expect you back, kid," he said. "You owe me for the lights." "I told you I'll cover it," Liam replied. "I got a job lined up at another gig." The man's eyes landed on Ethan. "That your new sponsor?" Ethan stepped forward. "I'm his father." The man scoffed. "You're late, aren't you?" Liam tensed, but Ethan didn't flinch. "I'm here now. That's what matters." The man muttered something and shuffled off. Liam looked away. "That's Tony. He let me crash here a few nights." Ethan's stomach turned. No kid should be sleeping on cold concrete. Liam shrugged. It was that, or the street. Ethan reached out his hand firm on Liam's shoulder. Not anymore. We're changing that. Liam looked up, unsure. But then he smiled. Just a little. And that was enough. The wind off Biscayne Bay rustled through the palm trees as Ethan pulled open the door to his private office. Liam trailed behind him, backpack slung over one shoulder, still gripping the worn cassette like it was a lifeline. "Nice place," Liam said, eyeing the floor-to-ceiling windows. "You run all this," Ethan nodded. Trackline started on a couch with a laptop and a half-broken keyboard. This came later. Liam walked to a glass case near the back wall. Inside sat Ethan's first MIDI controller. A cracked corner keys faded from use. "You kept this?" Liam asked. "It's where the dream started." Liam's fingers tapped the glass. "Kinda like my controller. Old, but it gets the job done." Ethan studied him the way he moved the rhythm always beneath the surface. "You've got your own sound," he said. "Not just talent. Vision." Liam shrugged, then pulled something else from his backpack. A sketchbook. He flipped to a page. A hand-drawn image of a stage. Turntables in the center. Behind them, a banner, Project Pulse, Beats for Kids. Ethan leaned in. "You drew this." Liam grinned. "My dream. A concert to raise money for kids like me. Gear, classes, maybe a safe place to crash." Ethan didn't speak for a moment. He looked at the boy, then the drawing. The vision was real. And it wasn't for himself. It was for others. "Let's make it happen," Ethan said softly. Liam blinked. "You serious?" "I've funded worse ideas," Ethan said, cracking a smile. "Yours has heart." Before Liam could respond, Ethan's assistant knocked and stepped in. "Sir, there's someone asking for you downstairs. Says her name's Maria Valdez. She claims to be Liam's aunt." Liam's face changed instantly. He pulled back, eyes narrowing. Ethan stood. "Bring her up." Moments later, a woman in her late 30s entered, heels clicking, expression hard. "Liam," she said, "you just disappeared. Do you know how scared I was?" Liam folded his arms. "You left me at that shelter for 3 months." Maria ignored the comment and turned to Ethan. "I'm his legal guardian. His mother, my sister, passed last year. I've been handling everything." Ethan stepped forward calmly. "I just met Liam. We're verifying some things." Maria tilted her head. "You're the one from the mixtape." Ethan's jaw tightened. "Yes?" She crossed her arms. "Then you know he's a minor, and this situation could get messy." Liam interrupted. "I don't want to go with her." Maria looked stunned. "You don't get to decide that." "I do now," Ethan said. "If he is my son, and we believe he is, we'll confirm it legally. I'm not leaving him in unstable care." Maria laughed. "You think this is that simple, lawyer's papers, court hearings? And where were you for 13 years? Ethan's voice stayed steady. "No one told me he existed." Liam looked down, hands clenched. Maria softened just slightly. "He's a good kid. I tried, but I was drowning." Ethan met her eyes. "Then let me give him what he needs. A home, a future." She stared at him, weighing something. "You'll need proof. I'm working on it." Maria sighed. "Fine, but I'm not walking away until I see something real." After she left, Ethan placed a call. "I need a top-tier DNA specialist," he said. "Today." Liam leaned against the wall, quiet. Ethan looked over. "You okay?" Liam nodded slowly. "She's not a bad person. Just not built for this." "I get it," Ethan said. "But I am." He walked to his desk, opened the drawer, and took out a small velvet box. Inside was a pendant silver shaped like a headphone, a charm he'd designed in college, one of a kind. "I was going to give this to your mom," he said. "She left before I could." He handed it to Liam. The boy turned it over in his palm, then looked up. "You really think we can do that concert?" Ethan smiled. "We'll start with one track. together. Liam's grip tightened on the pendant, the beat of trust beginning to play. The sky outside Ethan's condo was streaked with the soft blue of early evening. Inside, the place was quieter than usual. Liam sat cross-legged on the living room floor, headphones on, tweaking a mix on Ethan's laptop. The silver headphone pendant glinted against his shirt, catching the fading light. Ethan leaned in the doorway, watching. "You've got an ear," he said gently. Liam didn't look up. "I hear where things don't fit. I like fixing it." Ethan walked over and crouched beside him. "That's what producers do. It's more than music. It's story." Liam removed one ear cup. "You mean like emotion?" "Exactly," Ethan replied. "Even silence is part of the song." Liam hesitated. "My mom used to say, music doesn't lie. People do." Ethan sat back, his expression clouded. She wasn't wrong. There was a knock at the door. Ethan stood, heart quickening. Through the peephole, a woman with sandy brown curls and tired eyes stared back, a folder in her hands. Behind her, a man in scrubs stood quietly. Ethan opened the door. "Yes?" The woman held out her badge. "Dr. Alina Monroe, Child Advocacy. We received a call from Ms. Maria Valdez." Liam froze. "She said a minor may be living here without legal placement," Alina continued. "We're here to check on Liam." The man stepped forward. "I'm Dr. Rios. I'll need to ask a few medical questions, too." Ethan swallowed hard. "Of course. Come in." Liam stayed planted on the floor, watching every move. Dr. Rios sat beside him. "Hey, Liam. I'm not here to scare you. I just need to ask a few things." "I'm not sick," Liam said quietly. "Just hungry. Sometimes." Alina glanced around the condo. "You've been staying here how long? 3 days?" Ethan answered. "We've already initiated DNA testing. His aunt left him in a shelter after his mother passed. I only found out he existed a week ago." She looked at Liam. "Do you feel safe here?" Liam nodded. "He bought me headphones. And cereal I actually like." A flicker of a smile crossed her face. "That counts." She turned back to Ethan. "Until we confirm paternity, the system's going to require supervised visitation. I'll need to file a hold on permanent custody." Ethan's fists clenched. "He shouldn't go back to that shelter." "He won't," Alina said. "I can place him in temporary care with a social worker. He'll still go to school, still DJ, but—" "Not under your roof." Liam's voice cracked. "No, I don't want to leave." Alina softened. "It's not forever, Liam. Just until the paperwork catches up." Liam looked at Ethan. "I just found you." Ethan knelt beside him. "We'll get through this, I promise." Reluctantly, Liam packed his things. He clutched the drawing his mom had made, the one with the boy and the DJ, folding it into his backpack next to the pendant. "I'll keep working on our song," he said, trying to sound brave. "I'll be waiting to hear it," Ethan said, placing a hand over his heart. Every beat. Liam was quiet as he followed the advocates out the door. Later that night, Ethan sat alone at his kitchen island. The silence felt heavier than usual. He opened his laptop and played the mix Liam had been working on. Layers of sound built slowly. A low kick drum, a haunting melody. His own voice, years younger, saying, "For Jay, wherever you are, I hope this finds you." Ethan closed his eyes. The guilt was sharp. He should have searched harder. He should have known. He reached for the pendant Liam had left behind on the counter. It was warm from the light, small enough to fit in his palm, but it carried weight. The next morning, Ethan stood before his legal team. "Make it happen," he said. "I don't care what it takes. I want custody. Full. And I want to start a scholarship. In her name." The lawyer raised an eyebrow. For who Ethan's voice didn't waver. For street kids who make music, who survive without help. Kids like my son. Outside Miami, traffic roared on. But inside Ethan's heart, a new rhythm had started. Quiet, determined, unstoppable. Rain slicked the Miami streets as Ethan's car pulled up in front of a modest brick clinic on the south side. Inside, fluorescent lights buzzed. He stepped through the doors, clutching a folder, DNA results sealed inside. Across the lobby, Liam sat in a metal chair hoodie up, knees drawn to his chest. A tired social worker sat beside him, flipping through paperwork. Ethan approached slowly. "Hey, kid." Liam looked up, eyes wary, then softened. "You came. I said I would?" Ethan said, "Always." The social worker stood. "We've only got 20 minutes. Ethan sat beside Liam, heart pounding. He pulled out the folder. "This is it," he said. "Proof." Liam leaned closer. "What's it say?" Ethan opened the envelope with shaking hands. 2 words jumped from the page, paternity confirmed. Liam exhaled. "So, it's real." Ethan nodded. "You're my son." The social worker cleared her throat. "It's a step, but not the last one. Custody court will still take time, but this helps." Liam pulled his sketchbook from his backpack. "Look what I made." He flipped to a new page, a drawing of Ethan holding a mic, Liam behind turntables, lights beaming down on a crowd. Above them, Pulse Project Family Stage. Ethan's chest tightened. "That's us," Liam nodded. "Someday." Ethan smiled, brushing his thumb across the paper. "Someday soon." The visit ended too fast. As the social worker escorted Liam to the back, Ethan called after him. "Leave the sketchbook with me." Liam tossed it over his shoulder. "Don't lose it." Ethan caught it one-handed. "Never." Back at the condo, Ethan opened the book again. On the inside cover, scribbled in black ink, "Music saved me. Maybe it can save us." Later that night, Ethan walked into a sleek private clinic near Brickell. Clean, discreet, expensive. He met with Dr. Grant, a quiet pediatrician with kind eyes. "I want a full health check," Ethan said. "Blood work, hearing. Sleep schedule. Everything." Dr. Grant adjusted his glasses. "For your son," Ethan said. "He's been living without basic care. I want to catch anything early." And emotionally, Ethan hesitated. He's guarded, strong, but he's been on his own too long. Dr. Grant nodded. "We'll keep it gentle, no needles without trust." As they spoke, Ethan's phone buzzed. Unknown number. He answered. A familiar voice filled the line. "Mr. Brooks, this is Maria Valdez. I'm calling because I just got served." Ethan stood straighter. "Custody notice." "Yes," she snapped. "You really went behind my back." "I followed the law," Ethan said calmly. "Liam deserves stability." Maria was silent for a beat. Then, "He's a lot like her, you know. Strong, stubborn." "She kept your mixtape all those years. I found it in his bag," Ethan said quietly. "That tape raised him more than I did." Maria's voice dropped. "If you're serious about this, be ready. Court isn't about love, it's about proof." "I've got both," Ethan said, and ended the call. The next morning, Ethan stood in the entryway of Liam's temporary housing. A social worker opened the door. "5-minute visit," she said. Liam ran to him. "You look tired." Ethan smiled. "I've been building something." He handed Liam a folder. Inside, blueprints. "What's this?" Liam asked. Ethan knelt beside him. "A studio. Just for you. Mixing deck, soundproof walls, everything you need." Liam stared. "You're serious. I want to make your dream real. Not someday. Now." Liam grinned. "You still got the sketchbook every page." The social worker called out. "Time's up." Liam grabbed Ethan's hand. "Don't give up." Ethan squeezed back. "Never." As he walked to the car, the pendant around his neck caught the morning sun. The same silver headphone Liam had left behind days ago. Ethan had strung it on a chain. He wore it now, not as decoration, but as a vow. They were building a rhythm, beat by beat, and no one was going to silence it. A low hum filled the downtown records office as Ethan stood by the counter, hands in his pockets, heart racing. The clerk behind the glass slid over a slim envelope. "Pulled everything we had on her," she said. "Julia Rivera. Born 92. Died last fall. Car accident. No will filed." Ethan nodded, voice caught in his throat. Thank you. Back in his car, he opened the file slowly. A death certificate. Sparse details. A list of known relatives. One name circled in red ink, Liam Rivera, age 13. His eyes landed on an address. A weathered apartment building near Coral Way. 10 minutes later, Ethan parked across from it. A modest walk-up, peeling paint, a tricycle abandoned by the stairs. He climbed the steps slowly. Inside apartment 2C, the space was tight. Photos lined the hallway, Julia with Liam at different ages. Birthday cakes, park swings, always her hand resting gently on his shoulder. One photo sat on a shelf framed in cracked glass. Julia, barely 20, smiling beside a cassette tape. For Jay, written boldly in black marker. Ethan reached for it, thumb brushing the corner. I didn't know, he whispered. I should have known. Suddenly, a quiet cough broke the silence. Ethan turned. A neighbor stood in the doorway, elderly, wearing a housecoat. You knew her? She asked, voice soft. Ethan nodded. We were young. I didn't know about the boy. The woman stepped in. She never said much, kept to herself. But she loved that kid more than anything. Played your tape every Sunday. Ethan's eyes welled. She left him drawings, notes. The woman nodded. In that box. She pointed to a small crate tucked by the bed. Ethan lifted the lid. Inside, scribbled lyrics, sketches of turntables, handwritten recipes with little hearts beside Liam's name. And at the very bottom, a sealed envelope addressed to E.B. His initials. Ethan's hands trembled as he opened it. Ethan. If you're reading this, it means you found him. I wanted to tell you so many times, but I was scared. Of being forgotten, of messing up your future. Liam deserved someone ready. You weren't then, but maybe you are now. Tell him I loved him with everything I had. Tell him the beat of his heart is mine too. Julia. Ethan clutched the letter breath caught in his chest. Later that evening, he sat in the new studio still under construction. Liam's drawing hung on the wall, framed now. The pendant rested on the desk beside him. He hit record and began speaking into the mic. Hey Liam, I found where your mom used to live. She kept everything. Your photos, my tape, and this letter. He paused, voice thick. She believed in you, even when no one else did. So do I. We're going to build this studio just like you drew it. It's more than gear. It's your voice. Outside, rain tapped the windows, steady and soft. A knock at the door. Ethan opened it to find Dr. Alina Monroe, clipboard in hand. Unusual hour, he said. I wanted to talk off record, she replied. May I come in? He stepped aside. She looked around the studio in progress. This for Liam, Ethan nodded. His dream. Alina walked to the drawing on the wall. I visited his shelter today. He's been distant since court started. Ethan exhaled. He probably thinks I'll disappear too. He's seen too many broken promises, she said. But this, she gestured to the studio. This tells me you're not just another man passing through. Ethan met her eyes. I'm not leaving. She pulled out a folder. Then fight. Maria's trying to prove you're building all this just for optics. Ethan frowned. It's not a PR move. Alina smiled. Then let's make sure the court sees that. Tomorrow's hearing come with the letter, the drawings, the pendant. Let them feel what this means. Ethan nodded. I will. She turned to leave. One last thing, bring him here soon. He should see the foundation before the roof. Ethan looked back at the desk where Julia's letter sat beside the headphones. The beat they started years ago was still playing. And now it was Liam's turn to finish the song. The courthouse hallway buzzed with murmured voices and the echo of heels on tile. Ethan sat on a bench outside courtroom B, gripping the folder that held everything. DNA-proof Julia's letter, Liam's drawings. The pendant rested in his palm, strung on a thin leather cord still warm from his touch. Across the hall, Maria stood near her lawyer, arms crossed, expression unreadable. She glanced at Ethan once, then looked away. The bailiff called Case 214B, Brooks versus Valdez. Custody review. Inside the courtroom, the walls were sterile, the air dry. A judge with sharp features and silver hair adjusted her glasses. "Mr. Brooks," she said. "Proceed." Ethan rose, voice steady. "Your Honor, I didn't know Liam existed until recently. Since then, I've submitted to every test, filed every document, and built a safe, stable space for him. I'm not here to take him away from anyone. I'm here because I should have been there from the beginning." He handed the judge Julia's letter. "She wanted him to find me. She never asked for money, just love." The judge read silently, her brow softening. Then she lifted a second sheet. "This sketch. It's yours." Ethan nodded. "Liam's. He drew our future." Maria stood abruptly. "Your Honor, he's romanticizing this. Liam has no structure with him. No rules, no routine." "I've enrolled him in school," Ethan countered. "Set medical appointments. I've hired a licensed youth counselor to guide us both. I'm not perfect, but I'm present." The judge leaned back. "Ms. Valdez, is it true you left Liam in a temporary shelter?" Maria hesitated. I was overwhelmed. I work nights, rent's overdue. I thought it was safe there, and yet you didn't inform the court until Mr. Brooks initiated the process." Silence. Then a soft, "No, ma'am." The judge sighed. "We'll recess for deliberation." 30 minutes passed in tense silence. Then the bailiff returned. "Please rise." The judge looked between them. "Effective immediately. Primary custody is granted to Mr. Ethan Brooks pending continued cooperation with Child Services and scheduled check-ins. Visitation for Ms. Valdez will be arranged bi-weekly." Maria's jaw clenched. Her eyes glistened. "I don't want to lose him." Ethan stepped forward. "You won't. He still needs you. I'll never tell him otherwise." The courtroom emptied slowly. Outside, Ethan spotted Liam waiting by a bench in the lobby, legs swinging, headphones on. Ethan knelt down. "Hey, you ready?" Liam looked up hesitant. "What happened?" "You're coming home," Ethan said softly. Liam blinked. "For real?" Ethan nodded, voice catching. "For real." Liam's smile broke like sunshine through clouds. "Can we stop by Spin Alley first?" Ethan laughed. "You want to DJ on the way home?" "No," Liam said. "I want to get my old controller. It's dusty, but it still works." They drove through familiar streets until they reached the club's alley entrance. Inside, the space looked smaller than Ethan remembered, but it still pulsed with energy. Tony, the old sound guy, looked up. "Thought you disappeared, kid." Liam grinned. "Had to handle family business." Ethan handed Tony a sealed envelope. A donation. For letting him crash here, and for not asking too many questions. Tony nodded slowly. "Kid's got a gift. Don't waste it." Back at the condo, Liam stepped inside cautiously. Everything was just as he remembered, but now it was his. "Room's still yours," Ethan said, motioning down the hall, "and I upgraded the soundproofing." Liam dropped his bag. "You serious?" Ethan held out a key. "No more shelters, no more folding chairs. Just home." Liam took it slowly, then looked up. "I brought something." From his bag, he pulled out a torn flyer, his first-ever gig taped together at the corners. "I want to hang this in the studio," he said, "to remind me where I started." Ethan took it gently already, picturing the perfect frame. As the sun dipped over the bay, casting golden light through the windows, father and son stood side by side, one dream behind them, and another just beginning. A warm breeze rolled through the open balcony doors of Ethan's condo. Inside, Liam sat cross-legged on the floor, mixing a track on his laptop while the silver pendant swung gently from his neck. Ethan watched from the kitchen island, stirring a pot of pasta. He tried not to hover, but something in Liam's quietness today felt off. "You okay?" he asked finally. Liam didn't look up. "I'm fine." Ethan walked over. That doesn't sound like fine. Liam paused the track. I was at school today, right? This kid, Brady, he said I'm only living here because you're rich, that you're just trying to look good online. Ethan's chest tightened. Did you tell him the truth? Liam shrugged. I tried. But people only believe what they want. Ethan sat beside him. So, what do you believe? Liam looked up. I don't know. Sometimes it feels real. Other times, like I'm just visiting your world. Ethan leaned forward, voice soft. You're not visiting. You belong here. But I get it. I've spent most of my life building this empire and not enough time learning how to be a dad. Liam cracked a small smile. You're not terrible at it. Ethan chuckled. Thanks, I think. He reached over to Liam's laptop and tapped the spacebar. The beat resumed layers building. You made this? He asked. Liam nodded. It's for the Pulse Project event. I want to open with it. It's got heart, Ethan said. But let's try layering in something old school. Blend the past with the present. Liam's eyes lit up. You mean like your mixtape? Ethan stood. Exactly. They moved into the studio still unfinished but alive with possibility. Ethan dug through a drawer and pulled out a USB drive. I digitized it last night, he said. Julia's favorite track was track 4. Liam slid it into the console and queued it up. A familiar static hiss played then, a younger Ethan's voice. Track 4. For the nights we dreamed of more. Liam listened, then began layering his beat underneath. The tempo synced. The melody curved gently into his own. That's it, Ethan whispered. That's the sound. The two worked in sync for hours. At some point, the moon rose over the water, casting silver shadows through the glass. Then, just after midnight, Ethan's phone buzzed. Unknown number. He answered. Hello, a voice on the other end, tight, anxious. Mr. Brooks, this is Officer Hill from Coral Way Precinct. I'm sorry to call so late. Ethan's heart dropped. What happened? We've just picked up Maria Valdez. DUI. She mentioned your name. Said you have custody of her nephew. Ethan stepped away from Liam. Is she okay? She's stable. But there's a minor, her daughter. Child Protection's getting involved. Ethan ran a hand over his face. She has a daughter. Yes, sir. 10 years old. We were wondering, would you be willing to take temporary custody while we process the placement? Ethan turned to see Liam, headphones off, watching him closely. He spoke low into the phone. Give me the address. An hour later, they stood outside a quiet clinic downtown. Liam fidgeted beside him. Do you think she'll be okay? He asked. Ethan nodded. I hope so, but she needs help. Inside, a nurse led them to a small waiting room. On the couch sat a girl with curly hair and wide, tear-stained eyes. Her backpack hugged tight to her chest. Liam stepped forward first. Hi. I'm Liam. The girl looked up. You're the DJ. Liam blinked. How'd you know? She reached into her bag and pulled out a crumpled flyer. Spin, Alley, DJ, Liam. Saturday, 8 p.m. My mom always talked about you, she said quietly. She kept this. Ethan stepped closer. You must be Ava. She nodded. Ethan bent down beside her. Would you like to come stay with us? Just for a little while. Until your mom gets better. Ava hesitated. Then whispered, Will there be music? Liam grinned. Only the best. As they left the clinic, Ava's small hand slipped into Ethan's. The beat had just changed, but the rhythm was still family. The sun broke through the blinds of Ethan's condo, painting gold across the floorboards. In the guest room, Ava slept curled beneath a blanket dotted with tiny musical notes. Her backpack rested beside her bed, the crumpled DJ flyer tucked into the outer pocket like a treasure. In the kitchen, Ethan poured cereal into 2 bowls as Liam walked in, hair-messy headphones hanging around his neck. She's still asleep? Liam asked. Ethan nodded. Didn't stir once all night. Liam sat down. She talks in her sleep. Said something about chocolate pancakes and tigers. Ethan smiled. We'll make her both. They ate quietly for a moment before Ethan reached for the pendant around his neck. "You know this started as a gift," he said. "But now it feels like a promise. To your mom. To you." Liam glanced at the pendant, then down at his cereal. "I don't know if I'm ready for all this." Ethan leaned in. "For what? Being the kid of someone important. Everyone looks at me different now. Teachers' kids at school. Even the bus driver asked if you were that Ethan Brooks." Ethan sighed. "I get it. You're not a headline. You're my son." Liam hesitated. "Sometimes. I feel like I don't fit. Like I'm just waiting for the day you realize I don't belong in your world." Ethan reached into the drawer beside him, pulled out a sketchbook. He flipped to a page Liam hadn't seen. It was a drawing, crude, hopeful, of a boy with headphones standing between a man and a girl, hands clasped together beneath a banner. "Our sound." "I drew this last night," Ethan said. "For you, for Ava, for us." Liam studied the lines, the color, the rough shading. "You made this?" Ethan nodded. "Told you. I'm learning." Liam didn't speak, but he didn't look away either. Later that afternoon, the three of them drove to the new studio site. Construction crews were busy installing the final soundproof panels. The stage platform gleamed under soft light. A banner hung across the Entry Pulse project. Launch in 6 weeks. Ava's eyes went wide. "Is this where you play music?" Liam grinned. "Where we will." Ethan showed them around, pointing out gear practice rooms, even a wall of donated instruments. "There's a place here for any kid who needs it," he said. "You included." Ava tugged his sleeve. "Can I draw something for the wall?" Ethan knelt down. "Only if I get to hang it." She beamed. Suddenly, Ethan's phone buzzed. He stepped aside, answering quickly. "Mr. Brooks, this is Dr. Rios. I just got results from Liam's last health screen." Ethan's chest tightened. "What is it?" Liam's hearing in his left ear is slightly impaired. "Mild nerve damage, likely from prolonged exposure to loud sound without protection. Clubs? Headphones? It's early, but it could worsen if we're not careful." Ethan closed his eyes. "What do we do? I'll email you details, but you'll need to talk to him. This will affect his future in music." Ethan returned to the studio, quieter now. Liam was helping Ava adjust a mic stand. His joy, pure and easy. Ethan waited until they were alone. "I need to tell you something," he said. Liam raised a brow. "Bad news?" "Not the worst," Ethan said, "but not nothing." He explained gently, clearly. Liam's face stayed neutral. "So, I can't DJ forever. You might be able to, but you'll have to adapt. Use protection. Pace yourself." Liam shrugged. "That's fine. I'll teach. Produce. Write." Ethan blinked. "You sure?" Liam nodded. "Music's not about how loud it is. It's about what you say with it." He reached for the sketch Ethan had drawn, now tucked into his hoodie pocket. "You said this was a promise," Liam whispered. "So don't break it." Ethan pulled him into a hug. "Never." In the corner, Ava scribbled something on a blank page. She held it up. A sun. A speaker. 3 stick figures smiling. "This is our logo," she said, "for our family." Ethan knelt beside her. "Then it goes on the wall, because some beats don't fade. They just grow louder together." The rain tapped gently against the windows as Ethan sat alone in the living room. The lights dimmed. Liam's sketchbook lay open on the coffee table, turned to the family logo. Ava had drawn 3 smiling stick figures under a shining speaker. Upstairs, Ava was fast asleep. But Liam's door remained slightly ajar and the faint buzz of headphones drifted down the hall. Ethan stood, walked to the doorway, and knocked softly. "Come in," Liam mumbled. Ethan stepped inside. Liam sat on the edge of his bed laptop, glowing earbuds in. But his shoulders were tense, his eyes distant. "Can we talk?" Ethan asked. Liam nodded, pulling one earbud out. "Something wrong?" "I don't know," Ethan admitted. "You've been quiet since the studio visit." Liam shut his laptop and exhaled. "I've been thinking." Ethan waited. I used to mix tracks on milk crates and a busted speaker, Liam said. Now I've got this giant studio. Sponsors calling, people I don't even know posting about me. That's a good thing, isn't it, I guess, Liam said. But it feels like I skipped a step, like I'm living someone else's life. Ethan sat beside him. You earned this, Liam. Not because of me, because of your music. Liam stared at the floor. What if I'm not good enough without the story, without the drama? The lost son, the street DJ who got lucky. You're more than a headline, Ethan said quietly. You're a creator, a mentor, a brother. Liam's lips tightened. But I don't know who I am yet. That's okay, Ethan replied. You don't have to be finished to belong. The next morning, Ethan packed Ava's lunch while she danced around the kitchen in bunny slippers. Dad, she said suddenly, do I still call you that? Or is it weird? Ethan leaned down and smiled. You can call me whatever feels safe. I'm not going anywhere. She wrapped her arms around him. Okay, I'll call you Dad, but only if you eat my gummy worms. He laughed. Deal. Later that day, while Ava was at school, Liam returned to the studio alone. He sat at the console, headphones on, but his hands hesitated over the mixer. From the corner, a voice said, Didn't expect you here. Liam turned. Tony, gruff, scruffy, loyal, leaned in the doorway. Hey, Liam said. Just needed quiet. Tony walked over, pulled a folding chair beside him. You know, I seen a lot of kids burn out. Chasing noise, chasing fame. I'm not chasing, Liam said. I'm just trying not to disappear. Tony pointed to the pendant around Liam's neck. That thing's heavy because it carries two people. Your mom's memory and your dad's hopes. Don't carry both alone. Liam blinked. She would have liked you. Tony stood. She liked truth. So do you. That night, Liam returned home and found Ethan sitting on the floor with Ava helping her build a cardboard fort. Glue sticks, tape, and string lights scattered around them. Look what I made, Liam Ava shouted. It's a music castle. Ethan waved him over. She says it's soundproof. Liam smiled and stepped inside the fort. Inside, Ava had drawn speakers on the walls and on the ceiling a big sun. That's you, she said, pointing to the sun. You make the music bright. Liam's throat tightened. He looked over at Ethan, who simply nodded. Later, before bed, Liam approached Ethan with a small flash drive. What's this? Ethan asked. The opening track, for Pulse Project. Ethan took it gently. You sure? Liam smiled. Yeah. I mixed in Mom's favorite loop, and Ava's laugh. Ethan chuckled, touched. She'll love that. Liam hesitated, then said, Thanks for letting me figure it out. Not rushing me. Ethan put a hand on his shoulder. The best sound always takes time. Upstairs, the sketch of their family logo was taped to the wall. 3 figures. One light, still growing, still learning, but finally making music together. The studio buzzed with quiet energy. Lights hung from the rafters, cables twisted like vines across the floor. Liam stood at the center console, headphones around his neck, eyes focused on the glowing screen. Across from him, Ethan watched from the glass window, arms crossed but smiling. Ava skipped in holding a laminated flyer. Dad, look. They printed my design. Ethan took the flyer. The Pulse Project logo, 3. Stick figures, a sun and a speaker centered at the top. Below it, a lineup of youth DJs. Liam's name was first. This is amazing, Ava, Ethan said. You made the dream real. She beamed. And I get to introduce the first act. Liam said I could. Liam called from the booth. She earned it. The door opened suddenly. Dr. Alina Monroe stepped inside. Sorry to barge in, she said, but we need to talk. Ethan's smile faded. What is it? She handed him a court envelope. Maria's filed a motion. She wants Ava back. Ethan's jaw tensed. Now? She completed 2 rehab sessions. Her lawyers arguing it's enough. Ava clutched Ethan's shirt. I don't want to go. Ethan knelt beside her. You don't have to yet. We'll talk to the judge, together." Later that night, Liam found Ethan sitting alone on the balcony, flyer in one hand, court envelope in the other. "Bad timing," Ethan murmured. "She's just started smiling again." Liam sat down. "She told me she has nightmares. That she's scared if she goes back, no one will listen." Ethan looked over. "She's just a kid. Why does she carry so much?" Liam leaned back. "Same reason I did. No one else would." Ethan rubbed his temples. "I don't want to lose her." "You're not?" Liam said. "Even if she leaves, you're still her safe place. That doesn't vanish." The next morning, Ethan drove Ava to school. Before she got out, she handed him a folded napkin. Crayon, hearts, and 3 words. "Don't let go." "I won't." Ethan promised. Back at the studio, Liam sat at the mixing board with headphones on. Ethan stepped in and pulled up a chair. "Want to teach me something?" Ethan asked. Liam blinked. "You mean, like actually, DJ?" "Why not?" Ethan grinned. "If I embarrass myself, you can remix the evidence." They spent hours together looping samples, syncing tempos. Ethan struggled, laughed, tried again. And, for the first time, Liam didn't correct him. He encouraged. "You're better than most of my friends," Liam said, smiling. "And none of them own a streaming company." Ethan leaned closer. "You ever think about performing together?" Liam hesitated. "Like father-son DJ set?" Ethan nodded. "Pulse. Project finale." Liam grinned. "Only if Ava introduces us." That night, while Ava colored in her room, Ethan sat with Dr. Monroe on a video call. "We need something solid for the judge," she said. "Maria's lawyer is pushing emotional arguments. We need Ava's words. On record." "She's just a kid," Ethan replied. "That's a lot to ask." "It's her truth," Alina said gently. "Let her decide." The next day, Ethan sat across from Ava at the kitchen table, her crayon box, open drawings scattered. "Sweetheart," he said softly, "they want to know how you feel, if you're okay telling them." Ava looked up. "Will they believe me?" "They'll listen," Ethan promised, "but only if you're ready." She reached for a blank sheet of paper and began to draw, slowly, carefully. A house, a studio, a sun overhead. Then she added 3 figures again, her Liam and Ethan. Underneath she wrote, "This is where I feel safe." She looked up. "You can give this to the judge." Ethan's voice caught. "Thank you, Ava." As the studio lights dimmed that evening, Liam turned to Ethan at the console. "You think we'll win?" he asked. Ethan looked at the drawing Ava had made, now framed and sitting by the main mic. "We already have," he said. "We built a family out of broken beats. That's stronger than any motion filed in court." Liam nodded, then hit play, and their music began to rise. Rain dotted the windows of the Miami courthouse as Ethan walked in, one hand holding Ava's drawing, the other clutching a USB drive, Liam's track for the Pulse Project finale. Liam and Ava followed close behind, quiet but steady. Courtroom 4B smelled like old paper and polished wood. Maria sat at the opposite table, her lawyer whispering in her ear. She looked tired, her hands folded tight in her lap. Judge Hammond, the same sharp-eyed woman from Liam's custody hearing, entered and took her seat. Case 2117, Valdez petition for custody modification. The courtroom fell silent. Ethan stood first. "Your Honor, I've brought evidence, both written and verbal, of Ava's current emotional state, school performance, and physical well-being. But more importantly, I brought her voice." He held up the framed drawing. "She asked me to show you this. She wrote, 'This is where I feel safe.'" The judge leaned forward, studying it. Ethan continued, "I'm not trying to take her from her mother. I'm trying to protect her until her mother is truly ready." Maria stood. Her voice trembled. "I messed up. I drank when I was scared. I shut people out. But I love my daughter, and I miss her every second." The judge raised a brow. "Are you sober now, Ms. Valdez?" "I'm trying," Maria said. I've been clean for 30 days. I started therapy. I'm not perfect, but I'm not the same woman who left her at the ER that night." The judge looked down at the drawing, then to Ava sitting quietly beside Liam. "Ava," she said gently, "would you feel comfortable speaking?" Ava stood slowly. Her bunny hair clip trembled in her curls. "I want my mom to get better," she said. "But right now I sleep better with Liam next door, and my toothbrush doesn't move anymore, and Dad makes real pancakes, not frozen ones." A quiet chuckle broke the tension. Ava looked at her mother. "I still love you, Mama, but I need a little more time." Maria's eyes welled. She nodded. "Okay, baby." The judge exhaled. "Joint custody, then. Primary residence stays with Mr. Brooks for now. Visitation granted under supervision. We'll reassess in 60 days. Gavel down." As people filed out, Maria approached Ethan slowly. "I didn't know how to ask for help," she said. "You still can," Ethan replied. Maria knelt in front of Ava. "Can I still come to the Pulse show?" Ava smiled wide. "You better. I'm the opener." That night, back at the condo, the air smelled like popcorn and paint. Ava taped up a new poster she'd made, "Family First Tour Coming Soon." 3 stick figures again, but this time one had curly hair and a microphone. Liam flopped on the couch. "So?" The judge didn't ruin the set list. Ethan tossed him the USB drive. "You still want to end with your track?" Liam nodded. "But I want you in it." Ethan blinked. "You want me to perform? Just one verse." Liam grinned. "You said music was story. You've got one." Ethan laughed. "You're serious?" "I already wrote the bars," Liam said, tossing him a notebook. "But I'll let you edit your bad rhymes." Ethan opened the book and read. "He wasn't there when the beat first dropped, but he showed up when the silence stopped. Built a home with broken chords and keys. Now we're family with matching melodies." Ethan closed the notebook, heart full. "You wrote this?" Liam smirked. "You inspired it." Ethan pulled him into a hug, voice low. "Thank you, son." From the hallway, Ava shouted, "Are we doing a group hug, or what?" They laughed, pulling her in between them. Outside, the city buzzed with music and light. Inside, the sound of something stronger pulsed beneath the surface belonging. And, for the first time, it felt like all of them were in the same song. The Pulse Project venue glowed under soft blue stage lights, cables taped to the floor crew hustling between sound checks and last-minute tweaks. Outside, a line snaked around the block, teenagers with backpacks, parents with cameras, and reporters holding mics. Ethan stood backstage, headset on, pacing near the curtain. His tie was loose, shirt sleeves rolled. Liam peeked out at the crowd, his hoodie-up nerves pulsing in his jaw. "You ever seen this many people in one place for music that's not even out yet?" Liam asked. Ethan smiled. "Only once. When I pitched Trackline to a room full of investors and forgot my slides." Liam blinked. "You bombed. Hard," Ethan said. "But I still walked out with funding. Sometimes showing up is the win." Liam breathed out. "Guess I'm about to win then." Across the room, Ava tugged on her sparkly pink blazer. Her name tag read "Host" in glittery foam letters. She held a cue card in one hand, a wireless mic in the other. "Dad," she whispered. "What if I mess up?" Ethan crouched beside her. "Then you laugh. Say, 'Whoops,' and keep going, even if I fall off the stage." "Especially then," Ethan grinned. "You'll steal the show." The lights dimmed. Ethan's voice crackled in his headset. "Showtime." Ava stepped out first. "Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pulse Project's very first night." Her voice echoed. A few cheers rose, then more. "I'm Ava, and I used to be scared to talk out loud. But now I live in a house where music plays every morning, and my big brother is the reason you're all here." Liam's eyes glistened. Ava held up her drawing, the original one with the sun and the stick figures. "This is what I made when I felt safe. So now I want other kids to feel safe too. That's why this studio exists." Applause thundered. Now get loud for DJ Liam. Liam stepped into the lights. The crowd roared. He slid behind the decks, fingers hovering, heart pounding. The first beat dropped a slow loop of vinyl crackle followed by Ethan's old mixtape voice, track 4. For the nights we dreamed of more. Then Liam added the bass line. It surged. People swayed hands in the air, but Liam's eyes scanned the crowd for one face. He spotted her Maria near the back, hands clasped, tears streaking down her cheeks. Ava waved at her mid-performance, beaming. Ethan stepped beside Liam midway through the set. The father-son duo launched into the final track. "Ladies and gentlemen," Liam shouted this last one's called Belonging, and my dad's got something to say. Ethan grabbed the mic. "I used to think success was money, views, growth charts, but then I met a boy who lived off gigs and mixtapes, and a little girl who drew a world where love was louder than fear." The crowd hushed. "Now I know real success is making room for someone else's voice." Cheers rose again. As the beat dropped, Ava joined them on stage holding up a sign, 1.5 million U.S. kids face homelessness each year. Ethan continued. "We're launching a scholarship fund starting tonight. Studio access, mentors, meals. No kid should fight alone." From the wings, Dr. Monroe wiped her eyes. Even Tony, leaning on a speaker stack, gave a slow nod. The music swelled. On the big screen behind them, Liam's final visual played the animated version of Ava's drawing stick figures dancing under a golden sun that pulsed in time with the beat. Ethan looked out over the crowd, then back to Liam and Ava. "You ready to close this out?" he asked. Liam nodded. "Let's bring it home." As the last notes echoed, the three of them stood hand in hand, silhouettes framed by light. A family rebuilt from rhythm and truth. And the crowd, they didn't just clap. They rose. They roared. Because some music doesn't end with the song. It lives on in the people who hear it. 1 week after the Pulse Project launch, the studio stood quiet. No crowds, no music blaring. Just soft sunlight spilling through the skylights, warming the wood floors. Ethan stood near the entryway looking at a framed photo, him, Liam, and Ava on stage, mid-laugh faces lit by joy. Behind him, Liam entered with a cardboard box. "Found this in the back," he said. "Old cables, broken headphones. Thought maybe we could recycle or donate." Ethan smiled. "That's very CEO of you." Liam shrugged. "Guess I'm learning." Ava skipped in holding a new sketch. "I made a flyer for the next Pulse night." Ethan took it gently. "You drew speakers on the moon." "Yup," she grinned. "Because music should reach everywhere, even the quiet places." Ethan crouched. "It already has." As they set the box down, Dr. Monroe arrived with the 2 men in suits behind her. "Ethan," she said, "this is Dr. Patel from the Youth Music Initiative and Mr. Gonzalez from the Education Trust. They've seen the Pulse footage." The taller man, Dr. Patel, extended his hand. "Your story reached us. We'd like to partner fund 5 more Pulse centers, nationwide." Ethan blinked. "You're serious," Mr. Gonzalez added, "starting with Chicago, Detroit, and New Orleans." Ava gasped. "That's a lot of kids." Ethan smiled. "And a lot of drawings." The partners left to tour the space. Liam sat on the edge of the main stage, legs dangling. "You really think we can grow this?" he asked. Ethan joined him. "You started it, Liam. I just helped build the walls." "I still get scared sometimes," Liam admitted. "Like the world's gonna change again and I'll lose it all." Ethan looked at him serious now. "If everything disappeared tomorrow, what's the one thing you'd still have?" Liam thought. "The music." Ethan nodded. "And your story. No one can take that." From behind the sound booth, Maria stepped in quietly. She held a small gift bag and a nervous smile. "Hope, I'm not interrupting," she said. Ava ran to her. "Mama." "Did you see the moon speakers?" Maria knelt. "I did." "Baby, they're amazing." She turned to Ethan. I wanted to thank you for everything, for giving her stability when I couldn't. Ethan shook his head. You're doing the work now. She handed him the gift bag. It's from Ava and me. For you. Ethan opened it slowly. Inside was a keychain silver shaped like a sound wave, etched beneath it. Thank you for listening. His voice cracked. This means more than you know. Later that night, as they ate dinner together, pasta and too much garlic bread, Liam stood up mid-meal. I have an idea, he said. For Ava. Ava blinked. For me, Liam pulled out his laptop and played a beat. Over it, Ava's voice echoed lines recorded from her show intro, her laughter, her phrases cut into rhythm. Her eyes lit up. Is that me? Liam nodded. Your first single. Ethan looked up. You made her a track. She made us one first, Liam said, holding up her flyer. Ava ran around the table and hugged him tight. I'm going to be famous. Ethan chuckled. You already are. After dinner, Ethan stepped out onto the balcony alone. The city sparkled below. He reached into his pocket, pulled out the keychain, and held it up to the light. Behind him, Liam joined quietly. You okay? He asked. Ethan nodded. I spent years trying to build something that mattered, but none of it meant anything until you both came into my life. Liam bumped his shoulder. You mattered before Dad. You just didn't know where to aim your heart. Ethan smiled. Well, now I do. From inside, Ava's new song played her laugh, looping her voice floating like a melody in the air. And for the first time in a long time, the silence in Ethan's life was gone, replaced by music. Real, honest, home.